Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a really fun video. This is going to be me as a seasoned mama, as a birth worker who supports other women in their pregnancies in feeling confident, empowered, comfortable in their bodies and all of those changes. And I am going to share my pregnancy must-haves and favorites. I have written them all down on this big old list of paper because I am an old-fashioned girly like that. Some of these pieces I have with me and I'm going to be picking them up and showing you as I go through. A lot of them are too big and bulky for me to be carrying up the stairs, or are just not all that pretty to look at. So I might insert a little picture somewhere in here, but I will leave as many as I can of the links down below for the bits and pieces that I have been loving, not only this pregnancy, but a lot of them through all of my pregnancies. But let's dive right in. So the first thing that I recommend all pregnant mamas get is a heating pad. So you can get these beautiful electric ones that are either bigger or smaller, and you can charge them up and have them, sort of tied around your waist for your belly if that's getting very stiff and sore, carrying all of that weight, or across your lower back. Really nice if you're getting a bit of sciatic pain. Even just lovely if you're getting those nighttime Charlie horse kick cramps for your calves. Also really nice for your shoulders and neck if you find you've been carrying a lot of tension in your pregnancy and outside of pregnancy too, particularly with postpartum. I find we're holding our babies a lot up here, we're baby wearing, we're carrying a lot of tension. And even during labor, actually, really nice for those of you who experience back pain during your labors, but also just a lovely way to remind our bodies that we are safe and we are okay. Generally, the things that feel really good for period related cramps, or if you're just feeling a little bit under the weather and a bit yucky, are things that feel really soothing during labor as well. So you can get these beautiful electric ones, or one of the things that I have is actually just a really lovely old-fashioned throw it in the microwave rice bag. This one also has lavender in it, so the scent is even really reassuring and calming, and just all of the lovely benefits of aromatherapy. I really like this one, but I can totally imagine where a plug-in one that stays warm can be really helpful, because for me, I find that I do have to reheat this one every so often in order for it to keep having those lovely benefits. So a heating pad is my number one pregnancy must-have. Pregnancy must-have number two are bath salts or Epsom salts, something that is going to encourage you to just get all that lovely boost of magnesium, which of course is one of those really important minerals that we can get very depleted from when our body is in a position of stress or feeling overwhelmed. And so whether you are pregnant, breastfeeding, postpartum, just a mum in general, it's likely you're experiencing some degree of stress levels, and so it can be a really nice way for you to take it in topically, so through your skin, whether that is in a magnesium oil spray or some Epsom salts, sort of as a foot soak even, or to just dive straight into the bath and get all those lovely benefits that way. So I love Epsom salts plain, or you can add in, I always add it into the actual salts themselves first, just so they can dissolve and carry quite nicely. Some lavender, maybe a drop or two of tea tree oil. Maybe you've picked an oil that's just really calming and grounding for you. And I add it into my bath and just use that time to listen to my positive birth stories or my hypnobirthing meditations. If you don't have any yet, I'll leave the link to that little bundle that I've created down below, and just carve out that time that's just for you in your pregnancy, because if this isn't your first baby, it can be quite difficult for you to carve that time out, and bath time for me is a real no-brainer. Okay, so the next one that I recommend is one of my pregnancy must-haves is a birth bowl. And it can actually just be a gym bowl. It doesn't have to be a pregnancy bowl or a birth bowl. They're all the same. They're all made to withstand that like nice amount of pressure and, you know, not pop essentially. So I will make sure and link my favorite birth ball down below. And I also bought for mine a really nice like soft fabric cover because I didn't like the feeling of it constant, like the plastic, but also it was always really cold and kind of sticky, and if you're sort of sweaty during the summer or whatever. So I got a nice fabric cover for mine on Etsy and I absolutely love it. So I will link both of those down below, but really nice if you are maybe working in a desk job, in an office job, or if you are just spending a lot of time sitting down at home, or maybe you are settling another baby. It can be really lovely to have just something with a little bit more give. And there are some different movements that I would recommend you do on the ball as opposed to just bouncing up and down. Actually, in terms of creating space in our pelvis and creating that mobility there, that you're thinking figure of eights, side to side, forward and back, pelvic tilts can be really helpful. Oh, I need to take a breath there. Getting out of breath so easily now. Okay, what is the next thing? The next thing on my list is compression socks. This is a funny one, and I think with this one I also have to give like an additional add on. And you know, with swelling in pregnancy, while it is very common, it is not normal. And if you're experiencing swelling or edema, which is the medical term for swelling, associated with any other accompanying symptom, blurred vision, dizziness, headaches, high blood pressure, it is always worthwhile checking in with your healthcare provider. If you're also just the person who experiences swelling on a regular basis, starting early with compression stockings can be really helpful. If you're on your feet a lot during the day, compression stockings can be really nice to not only reduce the likelihood of DVTs, to reduce the swelling, but also if you are experiencing varicose veins, it can be really nice just from a comfort perspective. I've been very lucky in that I've never experienced any of those symptoms, but if you are finding yourself on that kind of scary slope of perhaps you've been already recommended to start treatment for preeclampsia, perhaps you've been recommended to start baby aspirin, maybe if you're in that higher age bracket or a slightly higher risk category, there's some lovely evidence that's come out recently supporting the use of beetroot juice or dried beetroot powder made into capsules that has a very similar effect as a baby aspirin. So I will try and link the article down below, but it's really, really worthwhile looking into if that's kind of the route that you've been sent down already. So compression socks, and I'll leave my favourite ones down below. The next one that I would recommend, and this is something that's a little bit different, is slide-on shoes. So I love myself a pair of Birkenstocks, and pretty much I don't wear anything else in my pregnancies because once your bump gets bigger and just a little bit more cumbersome, it can be a pain in the bum to try and do your shoes, never mind a pair of socks. So getting yourself a nice comfortable pair of slip-on shoes is a must for me. The next thing is pregnancy books, courses, and podcasts. It can be a real minefield when it comes to preparing for birth and where do I go for the information. There's so much misinformation, there's so much conflicting information. Just letting the tractor go past. And so this is why I have created the Complete Empowered Birth course that contains everything that you are going to need from navigating the various maternity systems on offer, right from planning a cesarean birth to having a free birth at home unattended. We're talking about postpartum support, getting breastfeeding off to the best start, bottle feeding, ways that you can birth your baby in a really confident, empowered way. There's access to partner cheat sheets, ways that we can move our body to encourage our baby to navigate the pelvis in a really smooth, efficient way. There are meditations on there, there's birth planning templates, there's so much information, and it's on a special offer at the moment. So I'm going to leave the link to that course down below, and I hope that you find it as helpful as I'm hoping you will. But I will also leave the link to my favourite podcasts and books because they are certainly not all made equal. And I feel like a lot of them will forget certain key aspects of preparing for birth and leave out some of the essential bits. So go check them out. And you know, having the information is also so huge. You can make an evidence-based decision if you have the information. And that, for me, one of my biggest mottos is the more we know, the less we fear. And so the more information we have, the less fearful birth can feel. Okay, so the next one on my list is pregnancy safe skincare. And I don't just mean for the bump, but I also mean for the face. Things that are going to help you feel safe and supported and just nourished. And I think there are so many yucky ingredients in all of the things that we put in our bodies nowadays that it can be hard to kind of wade through what's okay and what's not. So I've been really loving the Dr. Hauschka line recently. I use their light kind of rose day cream, and they have like a lovely little bronzy tint that I use as well. And they have lip balms that I literally just use on my lips and on my cheeks. But I think that diving into that and then caring for our bodies in the way that we would want caring for our face, and in the same way we would want our bump to be cared for, both in the prevention of stretch marks, but also just in general, like loving on our pregnant bodies and using that as an opportunity to really connect with our babies is so important. So I will leave my favorite like belly cream and the skincare that I've been enjoying in the link down below. The next thing is water bottle. Along with adding in some lovely like electrolytes into my water, I've been loving the company Element, literally spelled LMNT. I love their grapefruit flavor. I will add in like some ice, sometimes some coconut water in there. And I've been loving these just like plain sippy bottles. This one is not glass. My last glass one got broken, but this is the one with the Brita filter. And I actually just removed the filter from mine because we are lucky enough to live in an area where we have like really gorgeous spring water. So I don't want to filter out any of that goodness, but making sure that you're drinking enough during pregnancy is key. And I know there can always be a temptation when you're waking a lot at night to pee to avoid drinking a lot at nighttime, but I think that it's one of the biggest things that we can do for our body is to treat every time we have a sip of something as an opportunity for us to replace those lost minerals. So check out those two links as well. The next thing that I want to say is prenatal vitamins. And I know it can be a bit of a minefield in terms of like, well, everyone seems to be recommending something different. And my go-to for anything related to pregnancy, health, nourishment, well-being from a dietetics perspective is Dr. Lily Richardson. She has a fantastic book that I will also link down below, but one of the prenatal vitamins that she recommends is something with a folate, choline, and a couple of other like key minerals, but the company that she recommends is Fulfill, and so I will make sure that I link that company down below. Okay, next thing is comfy layers, because I don't know about you, but I get so sweaty in pregnancy, and one of the biggest things that I've been enjoying this pregnancy is a tank top with another top on top and these Indigo Luna flares. These are from the Layla range. Never mind my stinky socks, but they have this beautiful belly band that goes up over your bump, and then once you're not pregnant anymore, you can just roll it right the way down for extra support. They are a little bit more expensive, but they come in so many beautiful colors. I'm really tempted to buy. They have like a beautiful kind of like peachy nude color that I really love, and then like a lovely chocolate brown color. So I'm gonna probably buy those at some point as like a little treat to myself for postpartum. But they're so comfortable. They're so easy to throw on. That, and then I love like, I think I actually have some hanging in the background, a nice like smock-necked, loose fitted flowing dress, because it's just so easy and so flattering and so feminine. But I don't ever buy things just for pregnancy because it's such a short period of time. I'm also buying things thinking about how it's going to look and feel in like 9 months time. So I'll link a couple of my favorites down below, but let me know if there are any pregnancy or like maternity wear companies that you've been really enjoying that I have yet to discover. The second last thing that I want to mention, this is hilarious, and actually I've been using this for the last 2 pregnancies, but I now have 2. I have one that I use for my clients if I'm ever doing like a prenatal massage with them, or just they are looking to optimize baby's position, and then I have one for myself for at home. This is the Hollow, which is literally a lilo with a hole in it. It looks like this, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I am a tummy sleeper when I'm not a breastfeeding, co-sleeping pregnant mama. And so being able to be tummy down feels so lovely. Just really like nourishing for my body. It's a lovely way for me to sort of decompress, take the weight off my belly, take the weight off my pelvis and my hips. I love to just lie on my lilo and read a book or lie in the sun if it's a sunny day. So I've been really enjoying this. It's about 30 quid. I think I got mine on Amazon, but I will link it down below because I think it should be every mama's pregnancy must-have. And then last but not least is Other Mamas. And this is not something you can buy on Amazon, but seeking out that connection and that companionship during your pregnancy, whether that is in person, going down to some of the local mama groups, whether it's La Lesh League or Quidju or your local mum and baby group in the community centre, talk to your public health nurse, or in the libraries. They're generally a really great place to start seeking these out. But for me, having other like-minded mamas, particularly after having my first baby, made it all so much easier. So much more doable, so much less overwhelming, and I felt like I wasn't alone in motherhood, which I think it can feel quite isolating. The night feeds, the constant time just doing baby talk, and I think it was really nice for me just to share and feel that sense of togetherness. So whether that is in person or maybe online, I hope that you find that my Instagram page is a really lovely place for you to just come together and connect and meet with other like-minded mamas in the comment sections or in my DMs. I'm always chatting back and forth, and I'm hopeful that I can create that sense of community on my website. At some point I hope to create like a digital hub where we can all just chat and be together. So fingers crossed that will happen at some point. But I hope you found this video helpful. There's so many links and things that I'm gonna have to pop into this link section down below, but I'm really excited and I hope that you find it helpful.